toxicity. Well, one of the ways that Ronald Rolheiser talks about it is that it is that tension that comes at you, that anger, that hostility, somebody else who's driving you nuts. It could be your kid who just spilled the milk for the 5th time. Whatever it is, you just had something you didn't want hit you, and you react. That's the part you don't get a choice on. We all react. Whatever it is, we react. But as we mature as Christians, our invitation is to let that toxicity hit us, be in us, and not give it away. Gandhi's grandson said it's like what happens with lightning. Either it can be destructive or it can be conducted. We can transform that electricity, that impact, in new ways through the power of God. Through the power of God. So Rolheiser suggests that we have this as a maturation point, that we can receive those negative things, we can take them into ourselves and not just immediately shoot them right back out at the person who did it to us or at someone else. So 3 things to think about with this. I like to, I'm going to stop right there and tell you a little story. When I was in India one time, we were sent to do this service project, and we were given a water purifier. So the water purifier, you just put it in the dirty water, you pump it for a while, you pull it out, and the water is clean, and the interior of the canister is dirty. So you empty the canister, you take it out, you clean it off, and then you keep using it. So we go to India, and we're like, great, we're going to just clean the water and drink the water, it's all going to be good. So we get this water. This man, the water sala, he comes up. He's got a big barrel on the back of his bike. Pour it into the bucket. Pump, 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 pump. Well, we started pumping, and I am telling you, it was like lifting 100-pound weights. We couldn't get the purifier to really pull the water through, and when we did 5 pumps and we pull it out, that baby was filthy. Just so filthy, we had to scrub it off. The water was too toxic. It was too full of contaminants for us to even use. So we had to go, found out it was from the local pond, and that explained a lot. And so we had to get a different water source. One of the things Rolheiser says is that if you experience toxicity to a level that is too much, you just get away from it. This is not a situation where we transform every toxicity, abuse, dysfunction. We are called to a life of wholeness. And so some places we can't even pump the water. It's just too toxic. And that's a choice we need to make as mature people. Where is that place and where do we get out of it? What is that relationship and how do we get out of it? But if the water's okay, the next barrel of water, we could pump it. It was okay. The thing to learn there is once you've purified your water, don't pour the contaminants back into the water. That doesn't work. So the most common experience I've had with this is with my kids. Like, they were annoying yesterday. They come back in this morning. I'm still annoyed. They're getting it, right? This kind of like cycle of, well, you annoyed me. I have a right to let you know. You gave me your attention. I'll hold on to it. I'll be the better person until I'm not. And then you're going to get it, right? This, you are still loved by God. You can live your life that way until your death. But if you want to mature as a person, as you want to deepen your spirituality, the invitation is to take it in and learn how to transform it. Personally, I see this as one of the most, and so does Rolheiser, a fundamental measure of our spiritual maturity, and also basically miraculous. I mean, I can't do this without a relationship with my higher power. I can't do this without turning to Jesus and saying, help me, because I can't do this in my own strength. I can only do this in relationship to God. But when I am rooted and grounded, it happens. It can happen. Not every time. I don't have a 100% record. I'm probably going at B-. but I'm trying and I'm leaning in and I'm growing. And that's the invitation, because when we do that, not only do we deepen in our relationship to God, but our relationships get better. And this is your third point. When you are getting that tension, when you've gotten the belly punch or whatever it is that's come to you that feels so hard, turn to your friend, turn to God, turn to someone else who can hold that with you. Jesus never called us to be lone rangers. Jesus called us to be community for each other. Stephen, the martyr, the first martyr after Jesus' death, he was being stoned to death. People were coming at him and he was dying, and he looked to heaven. He looked to heaven not just because that was where God was present to him in that moment above the fray, but also because that was how he was able to keep his mind on the purpose and point and his own worth and value. So where do you look? Who do you turn to? You need to know it. You need to know it in advance. Keep that helper nearby. So when I've been thinking about the people who have actually modeled this in the world, I think of Gandhi during his nonviolent civil disobedience, where he led a group of people to a salt harvesting place where the British owned it, and he was going to undermine their authority, and they got hit over and over and over. These people just push passively. It transformed a nation. They got their independence from Britain. You think of Martin Luther King and all of those civil rights workers who sat at diners at the counter of these different restaurants and were beaten, and how much it changed our country. If they could do that, I think I too can do my little part to take it in and not give it back. That's what I want to do, and I can tell you do too. So may we transform toxicity, because we are being transformed in the goodness and grace of God. And as we do that, we become deeper and deeper a part of the God who loves us, of the community that nurtures us, and of transforming a world that needs us and needs love so deeply. Amen.